Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Now in today's video, I've got a little cactus dilemma that I wanted to share with you. Should you have this happen to any of your cacti? Now these are my two Coryphantha borwigii young cactus plants that I grown myself from seed back in 2015. And as you can see, there's the two here. This one is sort of nice and healthy looking and sort of quite plump. But this one here is very sort of shriveled. Now, it's sort of normal for cactus to shrivel during the winter time, and then they plump back up again when you start to water them again in the spring. And that's what I've done with these. This one's gone nice, plump back up again now. I've started to water it. But this one has stayed very wrinkled. And when that happens, I often get people say, you know, they have a cactus and it's shriveled and they're watering it. And say it happens to be spring and summer and it's still shriveled. I always say there's usually a problem with the roots, and to get it out the pot and check it over. So in this case here, I'll just take this one away because that one's healthy. I looked a bit close. I couldn't see any signs of pests on the actual plant itself, because often that's the case for shrivelling cacti, when little pests, especially Mealy Bug, hide in between all the little woolly areoles and suck the juice out of your cacti, and then they start to shrivel. Couldn't see any, so I started to dig away a little bit at the soil. And look at this, guys. Yep, I don't know if you can see there. There's signs of the dreaded Mealy Bug. Possibly root Mealy Bug because it's at the very base. So, as I mentioned to people who ask me about this, about their cactus shrivelling, even though they keep watering, it's not taking it up, and it happens to be spring and summer, then I mentioned the best thing to do, if you can't see any obvious signs of pests on the cactus, then you need to get it out the pot and look at its root system. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video, and hopefully you get some tips from this video should you have shriveled cacti that refuse to take up water when you start to water them again in the spring and the summer. Now, although this one looks healthy, I'll also get this out of its pot as well, because if this has got root Mealy Bug, which is very possible, or it might have Mealy Bugs underneath the base of the plant, then these were close together. I had them, so it's possible these could also be infected. So this is what you need to do, is to get them out and have a look. So here we go. Let's get this little cutie out of its pot. Now I've got some toothpicks here to pick away any bugs I find on the roots or underneath, and this little eyebrow sort of mascara brush. I picked these up from the chemist shops. They often have these on the beauty counters, but you can use any type of little tiny brush, little pipe cleaner or anything as well, or anything you can just get to pick off any pests with. So here we go then. Just going to take that out there, and I'll use the back of this to push out the little hole. So here we go. Empty all that out. I won't be reusing this soil again, obviously, because pests can hide in between these parts here underneath. Just gently tease this off. So there's the little roots. Great root system. And to be very careful, obviously, when you're removing soil off young cactus roots, or cactus roots in general, because you don't want to get them damaged. Now, obviously, when I make up cactus soil, I use a loam-based soil, one by John Innes, and I mix it with a bit of pumice and lava rock as well. So sometimes, obviously, with fertilisers that's natural in the soils when they put them in, such as the loam-based soil, it often leaves a bit of a white deposits, and you also get that as well with calcium in water and things like that. So you don't need to panic and think, oh, that's it, it's got Mealy Bug. What you want to do is check for signs of the little nests. Now the good news is, looking at all the roots here, getting all the soil off, there's no signs of root Mealy Bug at all. So I'm very happy about that. So it definitely hasn't got root Mealy Bug. Sometimes you'll often see little white deposits that can be caused from sort of lime, from the soil you've used, or even from the water. So don't always think that's Mealy Bug, but this has clearly got no cases of Mealy Bug there, root Mealy Bug. So that's good. But obviously you can see there is Mealy Bug here, as you can see, just under the base. So I just want to mention, I have made a video. If you happen to get your cactus out that is shriveled and it's not taking up water and you spot root mealybug, then I have made a video on how to treat root mealybug on cacti and succulents. So do check that video out. A lot more detail on how I would treat it if this happened to have root mealybug. And I've done that. I've had that happen with a few of my cacti and succulents in the past. So check that video out. Links will be up above and down below in the video description. So this hasn't got root mealybugs, that's one less thing to worry about, but it has clearly got mealybug here. And obviously because the soil was sort of up to there and he was only seeing that part, I wasn't seeing what was going on underneath. And I do regularly treat all of my cacti and succulents with horticultural neem oil. And from spring to summer, I'll be spraying them about once every 3 weeks, all of them in the polyton, all of them indoors. But because it has been winter, I haven't been doing it because obviously cacti need to be kept dry as much as possible. So that's why this has probably come back. But in this case, I'm going to be treating this straight away now with rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, to pick off any I can visibly see. So they're all clean of pests. They're going to pot it up again into dry cactus soil, fresh. I'm going to use fresh soil, although it hasn't got root mealybug. A lot of these mealies might still be in the old soil here. I don't want to take any chances. So this is going to be going. I'm going to be potting it up in fresh soil. And then I'm going to leave it for a week or two and then water it and spray it with horticultural neem oil again. So the plant takes it up from the roots as well as having it on the plant body. But I've made a video on how to use neem oil for cacti and succulents to prevent pests and also to treat pests on your plants. So do check that video out. I go in the whole detail on how to use neem oil to get rid of pests on your plants. Links up above and down below in the video description. So here we go, that's that out the way. And what I'm going to be doing now is just removing the pests with the rubbing alcohol. I've got a little bowl here to put the rubbing alcohol in, and I use here to show you isopropyl alcohol. I use one at 99.9% and I just use it neat to dab onto cacti. But if you've got succulents that have got the lovely sort of colourful hue on their leaves, such as some of the echeverias, I'd recommend diluting it, probably about 50-50 strength, to treat any pests on some colourful succulents. But with cacti such as these, the hard-skinned ones, I just use this straight, and it's great because it kills mealybug and other types of pests on contact, which is great. So just a little bit on here. I've made many videos on how to use isopropyl rubbing alcohol to get rid of pests on cacti, so got tons of them. So do check out my other videos if you want to. I like to use a little brush, either a little artist brush or a little eyeshadow brush, anything that's clean, that's small, and load it up with a rubbing alcohol and then just dab it on to get rid of these pests here. And the alcohol will kill them on contact, which is good. I just want to make sure we get all in between them spines. I want to make sure we go underneath as well. So as I say, I'm going to get as many as I can physically see off, and then after, before I pot it up, then I'm going to spray the whole plant and the roots with neem oil mixed with horticultural soap. And as I say, I've made a whole video on how to do that, so do check that out. And then I'm going to pot it up then, and then keep it, I wait till the neem oil is completely dried onto the roots before I pot it up into the dry soil. And then I'm going to leave the whole cactus dry and unwatered once it's potted up for about a week or two. And then I'll start introducing a bit of water. Again, give it another, I'll probably water it in with the neem oil as well. So there we go. That's a little video on a bit of a video vlog really. Should you notice your cactus is starting to shrivel and you're not sure what is good, to get it out of the pot and check over the root system. And as I say, if you happen to see root mealybug, do check out that video I've made on how to treat root mealybug on cacti and succulents. As I say, the links are up above and down below in the video description. There we go. So that's all I have to do there. As you can see, there's no traces now at all of the mealybug under there. Gorgeous little cactus, absolutely cute. There you go. That's the the little cactus there completely removed of all of the mealy bugs, totally. And as you can see, it's still wet with the rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to leave that to totally dry then. So it's none of the rubbing alcohol is on it. And then before I pot it up, I'm going to spray it with horticultural neem oil mixed with horticultural soap. And then once that's totally dry, I'm going to pot it up then in dry cactus soil and leave it dry for a week. And then when I start to water again in about a week's time, I'm going to use the neem oil as both a foliage and also a root drench. So it's going to make sure, and then pests come back again. And as I say, I've made a video on how to use neem oil as a foliar and also a soil drench for cactus. So do check that out. That's what I'm going to be doing with this one. And also with the isopropyl alcohol as well. So I hope you found that video useful, guys, should you notice your cactus is shriveling and you're not quite sure why when you're watering it and everything. So that's obviously, there's many reasons. If it's the middle of winter, it's normal for cacti to shrivel, so you don't need to worry. But obviously when it's springtime and you start to water them again and it's still not taking up the water, best to check its roots over. And if you really can't find nothing wrong, you get it out and there's no signs of mealy bug, pests or anything, roots are fine, just pot it up in some fresh cactus, a good well-draining cactus mix. Sometimes a bit of a repot can give a bit of a booster as well, and spring is always the best time to start repotting. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and if for lots more tips and tricks on how to care for and grow cacti succulents, please do subscribe to my channel and also check out my website, desertplantsofAvalon.com. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness and tons of cactus power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.